Since I work in corporate communications myself, I know how much a weird name or catchy phrase can stick. That's exactly what happened with Nano Banana, a new AI image platform that's been turning heads and opening eyes over the past few days. With new AI image platforms popping up like mushrooms, it's easy to lose track. And that's exactly why orientation matters, to see where each platform really shines and where it doesn't. One approach is the so-called LM arena. The idea, keep things as objective as possible. You enter the battle mode, see two images, pick one. Only afterwards do you find out which platform made it. Curious to try it yourself? I'll show you how later. But first, a quick question to LM Arena's team. In my test series, the same platform kept showing up again and again. Doesn't that skew the results? The more exposure a system gets, the more clicks it's likely to collect. And what about major players like Midjourney or Runway? If they're not even part of the game, how meaningful are the rankings? It's a bit like a football tournament without Brazil, France, or Spain. Sure, you can still crown a winner, but something feels off. With all the buzz around yet another so-called best image AI platform, I decided to take a closer look. I spent several days testing different prompts using LM Arena. And no, not just one prompt per platform and done. I tested a wide range of styles: photographic, artistic, and heavily text-based. The rule: each test uses the exact same prompt across all systems, just like LM Arena intends. For the lineup, I selected platforms that currently claim a top spot in generative image creation. The list includes Leonardo, ChatGPT, Ideogram, Seedream, Recraft, Flux, Qwen, Imagen 4, and the mysterious one labelled Nano Banana. Midjourney rounds out the field. I've made no ranking here. That's on purpose. Because what works for me might not work for you. This isn't about pushing one platform over another. It's a field test. The outcome is yours to judge. In each overview, I've highlighted the Nano Banana result in red, so you can always spot it quickly. In total, we're looking at 7+1 test series, each with different complexity levels. Let's start with example 1, the short version of the prompt. Highly realistic cinematic photograph of a sleek, dangerous-looking futuristic male humanoid robot standing in a minimal studio setting. Dark cyan blue background. The robot holds a bow and stares directly into the camera. Most images look decent. A few are weaker, and a small number stand out. Since this tutorial focuses in part on Nano Banana, let's compare the Midjourney result on the left with Nano Banana's take on the right. Example 2 shifts to pirate territory. The short prompt: cinematic shot of a female pirate with brown hair and a red bandana. In the background, a pirate ship. Cinematic colour grading, detailed skin texture, and visible pores on the face. You'll notice all platforms understood the basic concept. Interestingly, 5 of them, top row, went for a close-up with the ship in the background. The others, bottom row, clearly separated character and scenery. Again, Midjourney on the left, Nano Banana on the right. Example 3 brings us into the realm of artistic craftsmanship. The prompt: a white origami of a white orc fighter on white background in a white studio. Here the results vary wildly. Some feel handmade and believable. Others are complex constructions, and a few look more like 3D renders than folded paper. 2 of the top row images stand out clearly. Once again, Midjourney left, Nano Banana right. Ever wondered what a sweet potato would look like as a farmer in full gear? Well, here's your answer. Example 4 uses the following prompt: a hyper-realistic image of an anthropomorphic sweet potato in farmer gear, surrounded by fields and trees, with a bright and sunny background lighting creating a sense of urgency. Dynamic pose and focus on their expression to capture the intensity of the moment. Cinematic style. If you keep that prompt in mind and use it as the benchmark, there's a pretty clear winner. Once again, Midjourney on the left, Nano Banana on the right. Example 5 takes us to Iceland, one of my favourite places on Earth, just behind Australia. I've hiked there quite a bit, so I have a pretty good idea of what it really looks like. Some of these images actually capture that feel. Overall, it's a strong set. The prompt was short but specific. Ultra-detailed image of an Icelandic Nordic landscape, cold, humid climate with rugged mountains, winding rivers, moss-covered stones, and dramatic atmosphere. Same setup again, Midjourney versus Nano Banana. Example 6 is where things get a little more absurd. Imagine Genghis Khan on an e-scooter, cruising through a fast food restaurant, captured by a paparazzi. That was the prompt. Paparazzi photo of Genghis Khan driving an e-scooter in a fast food restaurant. And yes, some platforms had no problem slapping real brand logos into the image, but what's more interesting, only one platform came up with a genuinely creative interpretation. Midjourney on the left, Nano Banana on the right. Then comes the real challenge, text. That's where many image models still struggle. In example 7, I wanted to see which platform handles text best. Spoiler, it wasn't Midjourney. Here's the prompt. A retro-style close-up of an old daily AI paper newspaper lying on a wooden table. Headline reads, "Let's test Nano Banana. Moody soft light. Documentary aesthetic." Most platforms manage to get the newspaper title, Daily AI Paper, roughly right. But the actual headline? That tripped up nearly all of them. Once again, Midjourney on the left, Nano Banana on the right. Last but not least, a look into image editing. After my recent test with Midjourney's Retexture function, I wanted to see what other platforms could do in the same area, using LM Arena's Image Edit category. Here's example 8. The task was to take an existing image, shown on the right, created in Midjourney, and apply this transformation. Change the room into a pristine high-end penthouse apartment by the beach at the Seychelles. Top left is the retexture result from Midjourney. Only a few other platforms offer similar capabilities. Qwen Image Edit, ChatGPT 1, SeedEdit 3, Flux 1 Kontext, and of course, Nano Banana, marked in red. As always, Midjourney left, Nano Banana right. If you'd like to try it yourself, just head over to the LM Arena website and use the so-called battle mode. It's the only way to get a result from Nano Banana. Let me walk you through how the side-by-side mode works. To generate an image, first click the Generate Images button in the prompt bar at the bottom. Then go to the top center and click the word Battle. A drop-down menu opens, select Side by Side, and then choose the two platforms you want to compare on the right. Let's say we go with Recraft 3 and Leonardo Lucid Origin. Midjourney isn't available here, and neither is Runway's image generator. Now enter any prompt you like. For this demo, I'll go with something simple. A yellow house with a green roof. Then hit Generate on the right. Depending on the platform, generation time will vary. Once the images appear, you can zoom in and check the details. When you're ready, just pick your favourite using the 4 buttons below. I also tried this in battle mode. In that mode, the platform names stay hidden until you've made your choice. In the example shown here, the better result is clearly Google's Imagen 4. If you're wondering what you can do with the results, just to be clear, I use the platform strictly for testing and comparison, as part of the broader idea of shaping AI through shared feedback. If you have questions about usage, I strongly recommend reaching out to the platform provider directly. My conclusion? Nano Banana. Well, there it is again, someone throwing a made-up name into the room to grab attention. And sure, that part worked. But when it comes to actual image quality and prompt interpretation, there's still room for improvement. Where other platforms follow the prompt closely and deliver photorealistic results, Nano Banana's outputs often lean more toward illustrations or stylized graphics. At least in my LM Arena tests, prompt accuracy wasn't particularly outstanding. And in terms of realism and that extra creative spark, Midjourney is still hard to beat. Assuming LM Arena correctly displays the model behind each image, I was genuinely surprised by Flux. Many of its results looked artificial, ChatGPT's visuals, on the other hand, showed the typical yellow tint and came out rather dark overall. Midjourney still struggles with text. 1 or 2 words maybe, but full headlines? Not really. In that area, other models clearly have the edge, especially ChatGPT and Qwen. And finally, a quick nod to Leonardo Lucid Origin, consistently solid across all tests. That's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for listening. See you soon. Your channel, AI, Now You Know.